So Dion, why is getting a pre-approved for a mortgage crucial for buyers, especially in this current competitive market?
Yeah, look, flick back to the second question. It's a good segue. If you are self-employed, there's a little bit few more hoops to jump through, right, to ensure that we can borrow. But is the mortgage pre-approval a necessity? Yes and no. It really depends on the situation and the complexity of the client. So if you've got a basic PAYG client, they've got a 20% plus cost or equity in their property, there's no issues on the credit file. As a broker, we've got this technology in place where I can look at your credit file. You give me the authority to look at your credit file. We understand that you've got 20% plus costs. We can do a really quick funding table and run your income through a program called Quickly, and then it pulls up all the borrowing capacity. So really, if it was that scenario, I'm pretty confident. We do it a lot here, going, hey, we don't need a pre-approval based on what you've told me, unless there's some really nasty outliers. You're pretty confident for you to go and put an offer on a place, because what we're finding, especially at this time of year, if you want a pre-approval, well, the hierarchy of what gets approved first, you got purchases, refinances, and then you've got pre-approvals right at the bottom, because there's no urgency on the pre-approvals. Important versus urgent at this time of year is key for the banks making the decisions as to what it gets approved first. There are clear benefits, though, of getting a pre-approval. Obviously, it gives the buyers a clear budget and also strengthens the offer as well. If they're giving that information to the buyer's agent, well, the buyer's agent goes into it on a negotiating standpoint, going, okay, well, I know what number I can really go up to, but I don't want to go up there because I want to get the best deal, right? But it also speeds the home buying process up. So basically, if we've got a pre-approval in, the only outliers that we don't have is the security property and the valuation. And literally, that's all we're changing if we've already got a pre-approval in. So it does go quicker. But at the end of the day, there's lenders out there. I just had one last week. From submission to unconditional approval in under 24 hours.
Wow.
It is about, we had all the information there, just going, right, cool, find a property, bang. In the meantime, while they're finding a property, we're getting all that stuff ready, and it's all about the quality of submission. Yeah, we don't submit anything without the data.
It makes it a very, very smooth transition, particularly in the hot market where we want to grab a great deal. It's great to know that we've got that in the train, and we can be confident on satisfying the finance clause.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think it's also prudent to go through some of the cons of getting a pre-approval too, right? So every time we submit an application, it marks your credit file, right? If you're doing it with multiple banks, it's multiple marks on your credit file, can potentially lower your credit score, can cause issues later on down the track. So this is the importance of getting in early before we start that finding the properties and making offers, to understand the situation, what complexities do you have, and whether you actually need a pre-approval or not. Some pre-approvals, even though we submit it, are still not even fully credit assessed. You get a lot of banks that have got some really great technology that just approve just based on the numbers you've put in. Okay. The other thing is pre-approvals only have a 90-day expiry, and after that, with a lot of banks, if you don't find a property within that 90 days, we have to start the whole process again. You got to get all the data, all the documentation. We don't have the option of just updating with some of the banks. There are some banks you can just update and go, but yeah, those are some of the key points that I think you have to be aware of.